Okay, so I am actually going to change this because it's kind of hard to see. Instead of x plus 3, I'm going to do x plus 5. Okay? What are the x-intercepts? If we have x plus 2 and x plus 5, my x-intercepts are what? Opposites. -2 and -5. Does that make sense? It's the opposite. We can solve this. Sit somewhere else. Now. You sit back in your assigned seat. Now. Do not sit next to each other. Okay, so I get x plus 2 equals 0, so that'd be x equals -2 to solve it. That's how we're getting the opposite of them. Because it's when the x is, the y value is at 0, so that's why we know it equals 0. Because that's where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, y-intercept is a little bit harder. I've got to plug in a 0 for x. So 0 plus 2 times 0 plus 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, so now we're going to plot this. So I've got -2 and -1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, how are we going to find what's in the middle? What's between 2 and -5? I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the middle is 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to make that line my axis of symmetry. Okay? And I'm going to plug that number in for x to find y. So I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did this wrong. Apparently I can't count is what the issue. Okay. So everything is right except my counting of the graph. Okay. So this is 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that make more sense? Okay. All right. And so what is between them? We can go over 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So the middle is we go over 1, it's right in between. In the between, yeah. And so in this case, that's 1, 2, 3.5. -3.5 is my axis of symmetry. So far, so good? Okay. 0.5. Because that's in between 3 and 4. -3 and 4. 1, 2, 3.5. Okay. -5 plus -2 is what? It's -7. -7 divided by 2 is 3.5. -3.5. Okay? So now we're going to plug this in. So I need your help because I don't have a calculator with me. We're going to find what y is. So we're going to go -3.5 plus 2 times -3.5 plus 3. So that is, what is it? -7.5? Yes, plus, I'm sorry, I changed this. So let's change our answer. This is plus 5. So -3.5 plus 2 times -3.5 plus 5 is what? What is it? -5.5. So we're going to go down. Now this is counted by 2's. So we have to go down 2, 4, 5.5. And I know my y-intercept is 10, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, which is 1, 2, 3.5. So half, 1, 2, 3. Yes. See, this is 20 and this is -20. So I know that they have to be counted by 2's because there's not 20 little marks right there. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to back up, and if we don't get it in a second, we'll move on to another problem and see if that helps. Okay? So the first thing, I'm going to say this again. You need to be writing down what I'm writing down on the board. You need to not be playing on your phone. And you especially need to not be talking. If you cannot do all of these things, you can leave. I will sign you a pass to ISS, and you can be there for the rest of the hour. Okay. First thing I do is the opposite of these gives me my x-intercepts. My y-intercept I got by plugging in 0. My axis of symmetry was halfway in between. Okay. Then I plotted my points. I plugged in my axis of symmetry to find the y value for my vertex. These are going up by 2, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is my y-intercept. And I know I have to go the same distance away from my axis of symmetry on the other side to finish my U shape. Yes? Okay, like where did I get that from? Okay, so are you good with the axis of symmetry or no? Okay, so then I just plugged it into the original equation. And that gave me the y value. So my vertex is negative 3.5 comma negative 5.5. That's my vertex. Sorry, I should have labeled that better. That would have been easier. Well, we're going to go and have another chance to do it with another problem. So I'm assuming you guys would like me to do a couple more problems, right, before you do some on your own? Okay. Okay. So the table is what it wants you to do. It wants you to find the table. I think the table is dumb. We can do the table way if you want. I think the easiest way is if there's a table, you take your calculator, you plug this in, and then you hit Control-T, and a table pops up. Why else would you do that? Okay. All right. So I'm going to change this equation again. You ready? I'm changing the equation because they're only one away, and it's hard to see. So if you need to talk, you can get out. Okay, so we're going to change this. We're going to go x minus 4, x minus 6. Okay, so 4 and 6 would be my x-intercepts. Okay, so if we want to find the axis of symmetry, gentlemen, I've asked you to be quiet. I'm not sure what the problem is. Okay, what's 4 plus 6? Then that divided by 2. Because you're finding the middle. So you add them together and divide by 2, and that gives you the middle of something. Yep. Okay, so we get 5. So my axis of symmetry is 5. How do I find my vertex once I've had my axis? Christian, now I'm looking at you and words are coming out of your mouth. Yes. So we get 5 minus 4 and 5 minus 6. 5 minus 4 is 1 times negative 1 is? So my vertex is 5 comma negative 1. Okay, so I'm going to plot those 3 points first. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Those 2 points right there are where it crosses the x-axis. Right in the middle is 5, negative 1. And we just want our y-intercept, and then we're good. How do we find the y-intercept again?
How do we find it?
How do we do it? We haven't done it yet. What's the x value at the y-intercept? Nope. What's the x-intercept? The y-intercept. When it's on here, y is always what?
0.
0. X is always 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Negative 4 times negative 6 is? Nope.
Oh, my goodness, negative 24.
Positive 24. Okay? So 24 is not going to fit, so it's going to go up here. So this is what it's going to look like. Yep, that's done. That problem's done. 24 is where it crosses the y-axis, so it's up here. We can. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We're good. Okay. So let's do number 4. And we'll do it just like it's written. Okay. What are the x-intercepts?
2 and negative 3.
Not 2, but
What?
negative 2 and negative 3.
Isn't that negative 2?
Nope, that's a plus sign in front of 2.
No way. I swear. My eyes are not. It says X minus
Because we're not changing this because I want to show you what it looks like. This one. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm waiting for you to move on, but you need to be quiet. You need to be writing this down. So no is my answer because I have to be able to graph on this page, and I can't if I zoom in that far. Okay. How do I find the axis of symmetry? And divide by? Negative 2 plus negative 3 divided by 2. So we get negative 5 divided by 2 is negative 2.5. That's my axis of symmetry. How do I find the y value of my vertex?
You plug 0 in.
Nope, not 0. That's to find the y-intercept.
No, you just said that.
You plug negative 2.5 in for x. You plug in 0 to find the y-intercept. Okay. So somebody put that in their calculator for me. Negative, parentheses, negative 2.5 plus 2, end parentheses, times, parentheses, negative 2.5 plus 3. What do we get? Yes, because it's the original problem. I just replaced x.
It's on the back. Mine is
I'm on number 4. I'm just checking your answer. You're good. We'll see. Yeah, I got 0.25 or 1/4. Okay, so my vertex I get negative 2.5, comma 0.25 for my vertex. It's going to be really small, which is why I didn't like these numbers, but I wanted to show you that you could still get this and graph it, okay, even if they're really small. I'm going to do one more thing before I plot all these points. I'm going to find the y-intercept. So you plug in 0 for x. So you've got negative 0 plus 2 times 0 plus 3. 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 plus 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6, but we have that negative in front of it, so it's negative 6. So that's my y-intercept. Okay, remember y-intercept, if I'm looking at it as a point, is 0, negative 6. It's where x is 0, y is negative 6. So I'm going to do that one first. Remember, they count by 2s. This is 20 and negative 20. So I go 2, don't talk again. 2, 4, 6. My x-intercepts are negative 2 and negative 3. See how they're right next to each other like that? That means my vertex does look funny. My vertex is over 1, 2.5, and up 1/4. It's so tiny. So that is my little graph right there.
Oh my God.
Where did I get what from? I'm sorry, I can't hear. What, Matthew? Where did I get 1/4 from? I plugged in my axis of symmetry into my original equation. And when I solved it, I got 0.25 or 1/4. Okay. I'm going to do, yes,
You got 0.25 and negative 2.5 plus 2 and
times negative 2.5 plus 3, but it also has a negative in front of it.
but it's negative.
No, we have a negative.
0.25.
Okay.
What?
There's a negative. Do you see this negative right here?
Um,
I moved it down.
yes, I do.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move on to number 5. I'm going to change the problem. Did I answer your question, or did you just say that? I'm sorry. Did I go over what you needed to go over? No.
No.
Okay. What do you need? What do you need from me?
I'm just not, like, so you got negative 0.25, right?
Yes. I got negative 2.5 for the axis of symmetry. I plugged it in, and I got positive 0.25 as my answer for the y value of the vertex.
Yeah. And then
Yes.
what did you do with that positive 0.25?
I plotted that point right here because it's a vertex. Right? Right here, that's the vertex, and it does say vertex right next to it. Because there's a negative in front of the parentheses up here. What are you asking? I'm still confused. Okay. Did I answer your question or no? Okay. I just want to make sure because I thought I answered Abby's question and then she goes, okay, never mind, which means I didn't answer her question, but she's not going to say anything. Okay. So we're going to move on. We're going to do one more and that's it. And then I'll let you talk and not yell at you while you're talking. Okay. We're looking right here. We're going to change this to x plus 6. 5. I'm a number 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's 2. I'm sorry. It's 2 times x minus 2 times x plus 6. What are the x-intercepts? And? Good. Okay.
Money right there.
I
remember what you said, that's like $100 just in time.
Which is why I didn't actually throw it, but threatened to throw it. Okay, we're gonna move on. I actually didn't throw anything at kids. Okay, so 2 plus negative 6 divided by 2, which would be negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. That's my axis of symmetry. Don't we what, Abby? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can you see it all?
It's not that.
Okay.
We don't times 2 times negative 6. We add them divide by 2.
Add them together, divided by 2. We've done this the whole time.
Okay. No.
It's okay. I'm just saying I didn't change anything. Christian.
Good sleep tonight.
Okay. So I'm going to stick this in to find the vertex. So I go 2 times negative 2 minus 2 times negative 2 plus 6. I'm going to get 2 times 4 plus 4, right? 4 times 4 is 16, times 2 is 32. This is big. Negative 2 comma 32 is my vertex. This is not going to show up on my graph. Okay, what's the y-intercept? How do I find that? To what?
To the plugging it in, like 2 times -2 plus 2 is -2 minus
Okay. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4, correct? Why am I timesing? Negative 2 minus 2. That's why Abby's confused, because I'm not doing math. Negative 2 and negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 plus 6 is 4.
So we go back to the original.
And then negative 4 times 4 is negative 16 times 2 is negative 32. There we go. Okay. Y-intercept. What are you? I'm sorry, Abby. I found my own mistake and then never answered your question. Okay. What can I do for you?
So we go back to the original equation,
Yes.
not the new number.
Correct.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay. The y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0. 2 times 0 minus 2 times 0 plus 6. 2 times negative 2 times 6. We get negative 24. So I'm going to plot these. 0, negative 24 is down here. My y-intercepts are 2 and negative 6. And then way down here, negative 2, negative 32, it's way down here. Okay. All right, so you have 3 problems that just like this for your homework. Before we do that, I would like to write down the steps to do it, just to be clear. I think this will be helpful if you write this down. Step 1, find the x-intercepts. Do we remember how to do that?
Just opposite thing.
Yeah. 2, and I'll leave this on the board because I know I'm writing fast. Find the the axis of symmetry. Do we remember how to do that?
Yep. Plug.
Add them together, divide by 2.
Yep.
Okay. Add roots, divide by 2. I'm going to put that down. How do we find the vertex? Because we need to do that yet next.
You plug it in.
Yep, plug the axis of symmetry into the equation.
The original plug out.
Because that's why you have an abbreviation.
SYMM is an abbreviation, yeah. I didn't write all of symmetry. Plug in axis of symmetry into equation. Step 4. Find y-intercept, and we do that by plugging in 0 into equation. Questions? That should be good.
Go to find the y-intercept when you use the original
Yes.
equation.